Hey, hi, hello, welcome. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong place. Let me swap in.
Oops.
That was quick.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Well, good evening, everybody. And I feel like I just like time shifted or something, or astral plane somewhere from somewhere.
Yeah.
And welcome to the Red 5 Tavern's Tales for the Bounty Board. And tonight's episode, Ascending Moon. We're getting close, people. I mean, this could be the penultimate episode of this campaign, and we are getting there. We are slowly getting there. Whimpers not included. So tonight we have the awesome joy to be playing with Kelly, who's playing Kalisha.
Hi, friends.
We've got DB playing Irshk, and we've got Aaron playing Zubov.
What up?
So we've got some stuff going on. We last episode we left basically at everyone's just about to push out their chairs off the table at the Red 5 Tavern with their tasks at hand. Essentially what we had talked about was Venestra was going to head off on a equipment list gathering. She's going to go visit Gilbo over at the Shadowlight Prison, and then whatever he couldn't fork over and divulge and give, he was going to maybe slap over some cash, where then she could run over to some of the local merchants and get some upgraded weapons for everybody in the party, and to help us with that side of things. And then the rest of the group was talking about, aside from the little bird that Zubov spoke to, everyone else was sort of divvying up, like, what are we going to do at this point? And up came one of a pretty important location that we had visited in the past, and at the Crescent Park. And that was sort of our next step. And so I'll ask you guys, as everyone's just about to depart, we know that Vanessa's going to head off to go and speak to Gilbo. Currently, she has the bag of holding and the book, and you guys are about to split up and go and take a look at the Crescent Park. So who wants to go where, with whom, and with what?
I would like to go back to Lunar Park. You know, not only am I a former moon elf, but I really wanted to see what the Whispers were up to. And now that I'm a ghost, I feel like I could really learn a lot.
Okay. All right. And who would you like to accompany you? So we got Zubov, and we've got Irshk here with us playing tonight. We have some NPCs or non-playing characters that we can also include in the group. Would be Stray and Calypso, perhaps. And so we have them as well as possibilities. Vanessa is going to go off on her own, or she can have someone go with her. Like, how do you guys want to split up that party? And as we talked about last time, because Tina can't play tonight, we're going to sort of let that storyline go on its own and assume that it gets completed. And how do you guys want to play her, and what she's going to be doing, and with whom, and how do you want to break that up, if anything?
I'll let you two decide that part.
Okay.
So she's talking to Gilbo, right?
Right.
Correct.
And what is she trying to accomplish again?
She's going to go there and see what options that he has to give to her. Literally, like, just here, take these weapons. This is, I mean, she has a list of everybody, right? So we're going to know that all the characters playing are going to have, I use a short sword. A short sword plus 3 would be fantastic. So all those things are going to be written on this, basically, a shopping list.
Yeah.
And whatever he can't or doesn't want to give for the greater good of Tempest Bay, blah, 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 he's going to help out with the hundreds of thousands of gold pieces that he's been collecting over the past 20 years, as basically, turning a blind eye to what's been going on, and use those funds and give her enough to be able to go to a local merchant, in the city center, and go and buy the weapons that she may not have been able to acquire from him. So she's on like a shopping list mission.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if she needs some backup, I'll go.
Okay. Or okay, that's fine. However, what we could do is we could let her go on her own, or do you want to go with the active group so that we have live players playing with the main arc of the mission?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Stray can accompany Venestra.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna need
Okay.
help, like opening doors and stuff. Like, I know where everything is, you guys. I could take you right there, but I can't open a door.
Yeah,
or
Might break a
anything.
just
nail.
ghost things.
A nail.
That's right,
Lose
drill.
an ear.
hmm
Present a shrubbery to groundskeeper Willie if he's there.
So okay. I would think that at this point, Calypso would probably retreat back to her lair and do some final research on what she needs to do for the coming battle. She did, as we saw last time, she did reveal that the black ooze is a damaging substance to these creatures that are being controlled by Ganjo, or at least in league with him. So we know that's going on, and so she's going to probably go prepare back for that. So basically, what we're looking at is the three of you heading over to the Crescent Moon Park and seeing what's going on with the Whispers. And I'll ask once more just to see what's going to be happening with the book. So as we remember in last episode, the tavern was attacked shortly after you guys got there, and you guys thwarted that attack. One can assume after the possession of Kalisha that while Ganjor is downplaying the importance of the book, perhaps he's trying to misdirect. So who's going to carry the book?
Oh, so Venestra didn't take it with her.
Well, she hasn't left yet. You guys are literally just about, this is what we're going to lay the ground rules right now. So no one's left yet. You guys are literally trying to figure out each aspect of the game, of the story, and of what's going to happen with which pieces, so that once you guys move on, it's in play.
Well,
Is Dagenra still? He's
Dagenra
been
was
with
able to
it for
turn-
so long.
he was able to like turn his room into kind of its own little hidden nook at one point to be hidden.
Yeah.
Yes, he can. Yes,
Early
that's
on,
true. He's
so-
there. Yes, he's totally there.
Okay. Dags can do it. Dags, you don't mind, do you?
That way we know it's safe.
Yeah.
Give it to the dick.
What would Tom say? Yeah, fine, I'll take it.
I already have it.
You mean the thing I took from you like 3 hours ago?
Yeah. Damn it, Dags.
That works.
Cool. All right, so you guys leave that with him, and he creates this sort of secure bubble and sort of shifts that room almost like a plane shift, but it's not. He creates this sort of safe space, somewhat similar to a bag of holding, but a bag of holding doesn't necessarily act that way as a being able to be sensed that way. So okay, so you give that to him. All right, so we've got Stray and Venestra heading off onto the shopping spree, and the three of you make your way towards the Crescent Park.
Yes. Zubav, do you have a dark sight? Can you see in the dark, friend?
Yes, I can.
Okay, and I know Ursh can. Okay, because part of it was a little bit dark when we went down in the trap door. So just want to make sure. Okay, so I guess we're floating to the park. Well, I'm floating to the park.
Mhm.
Zuma and Ursh are floating with joy right behind you.
My athletics
like
and my stealth, I am just a little parkour through the trees. Bark.
There you go.
Parkour.
And there's minor earthquakes as Zubov walks towards them.
Pretty much.
Um,
I think I
so
have disadvantage on stealth checks, like I would if I was in plate. But Details. Who cares?
Details, don't worry about it. So as you guys head outside, the first thing you notice as you guys split up and sort of say your goodbyes and thumbs up, and we'll meet back here in a couple hours, sort of thing. You noticed, Zubov, that your little friend has not returned. It hasn't been very long, of course. You just sent him on the mission, but he hasn't come back in his little spot there. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's about sort of 2 blocks south from the tavern. So you guys just have a short walk to get there.
Mhm.
And so once you get there, it looks like a regular day. It's actually a really nice day out. So there's several people, couple of families sort of walk around the park and looking around the different structures and yeah, so you guys get there, and if you recall, the trap door is somewhat sort of towards the back end of where the 2 crescent points meet. So you guys got to follow a path. Ooh, there we go.
Sure.
So, do you guys just like, how do you guys want to get there? Like, you notice people, milling about. Nothing really stands out for anything suspicious at this point. And also, you don't see caretaker. What's his face?
Willie.
Willie. Caretaker Willie's not there.
Groundskeeper Willie.
Groundskeeper Willie's not there.
Good.
Is it worth
No.
maybe doing a little perception or an investigation, maybe to double check we're not, I guess being followed or
Sure. Yeah.
noticed?
Worth it. Yeah. Give it a roll. Whoever wants to do it.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out as well. 6.
Perception is a 0, so 19.
So Zubov, you're just looking at the nature and everything is just wonderful. It's not a care in the world. You're good.
I got
And you're-
11.
You got 11? Okay.
Yeah.
You're somewhat in the same area, Kalisha. You don't necessarily notice anything. Irsk, you're looking around and you don't see anything suspicious. I think the only thing you would notice at this point is that the people that are there sort of casting an eye towards you guys, just sort of a mismatch. Well, basically just you and Zubov, right? Because
Right.
Kalish is invisible. So the only thing that you see suspicious is what people are looking at you guys like, what are these guys in here for? That's kind of odd. It's the park, not a not an arena for cage matches or something. So aside from that, just,
arm around Zubov. You look kind of weird. Put your
guy
arm
speaks to
around
birds. Like 2 hours ago, he's talking to a chickadee.
Put your arm around
I always look out of place. It's fine.
It is my burden. Okay, so that would be the only thing you noticed.
So yeah, I'm used to this. I get it.
Mhm.
So okay, so nothing happens there. So you guys get to the area of as you're following. Now you're invisible, right? But your allies can see you, correct, Kalisha?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're leading the way essentially to the this trap door.
Yeah.
So you're floating, maybe 10 feet ahead of Zubov. So Zubov and Irsk, so that you're not necessarily like beelining it and making it too obvious. So you get to the area, and from your floating perspective, you see the trap door. And again, it's still concealed, just like it was before. And unless you're specifically looking for it, you'd never really notice it's there.
Mhm.
So how do you guys want to play it now that there's other people in and around the park?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Maybe send in Kalisha first just to do a little looky-loo, and then we can keep an eye out, and when the coast is clear,
Okay.
just head on down.
Okay.
I'm gonna float through the door cautiously, and I'm invisible to normies, to the living.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if anybody's there yet, because in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I don't know what to expect in the daytime. Last time we were here, it was night.
Yeah, true. Yep. So, okay, so just give me a second here.
Let's see.
I I hate the mobile view of the D&D Beyond and how it hides your characters unless you like maximize screen.
Yeah.
Right.
First world problem, sorry.
It's a little DM thing.
Okay. All right. So, so if you remember correctly from that episode where you have sort of like this, you have the cap to the trapdoor, and it sort of goes down, and then you've got like sort of an ante room, and it's not very big, and then you have a little bit of a corridor, and you've got the larger area to where the statues were, and where you guys encountered that being there, that beast from before. So you float down the tunnel, and you get down there, and while you're in ghost form, do you have your other senses aside from sight? Like, do you have smell? Do you have touch? Like, what are your senses as a ghost? Okay.
I can't smell, I can't taste, I can't touch.
Right. That
Not
explains why you're so much
tired.
happier around Irish. Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah. I
Valid
don't
point.
smell them anymore.
So you get down there, and the first thing you see as you're slowly descending, because as you said, you're going to take this cautiously, that the ante room that you're familiar with sort of has a sense of like a cloakroom almost, where people have dropped, a bag, a sack here, maybe a sheath and a dagger there, maybe a walking stick and sort of a leather belt hanging off of it, that kind of thing. And so nothing's going on in that room except for just a whole bunch of equipment. And when you get down there, what do you hear as a ghost? Do you see?
I think I can hear things. I don't think my hearing is
we can talk to you.
affected.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So what you hear from the forum of this area is that like sort of low level talking.
Yeah.
And the light coming from that area through the sort of the small narrow corridor, obviously like it was last time, lit by torches and whatever, what have you. So you got like sort of a sense of darkness, but also a sense of light. So like something blocking the light, or large things blocking the light, and it's sort of dancing around and giving a low level amount of light within the room that you're in, but it's hard to determine what is in that other room without you physically going in there.
Right.
And you're like really just like poking your head at the base of the descending part of the trapdoor, like staircase, as it were.
Right. Can I go in?
Absolutely. So you sort of float your way in there, and you pass over the equipment, and nothing seems that interesting, really. It just sort of seems somewhat rudimentary equipment. And then as you pass over that, and you're sort of floating over towards the sort of the corridor, and you get a view of the this ante room, and you're familiar with it. You don't see all of the statues, but you sort of see parts of them. Not very well lit. But what you do see is a figure facing you, and not looking at you, but just sort of facing you, this one being. Don't get a really good look at the person. And then you see about halfway at the height of this person, just other beings in front of the person of this, so like you're seeing from behind. So you can't tell their faces. It says that the light is being somewhat emanated in front of the main person that you're seeing, and some light from behind the person, and making the people in front of them silhouettes. So you can, from the width of the corridor, which is sort of a standard corridor, you see at least 3 of these sort of beings. But like I said, they're half the height of the main being that you're seeing.
Right. Okay. I'm going to float back, make my way back through the corridor, up through the tunnel, through the door. Okay. And I'm going to tell Zubov and Urshk, they are gathering down there. Some guy it looks like he could be their leader. and he's speaking to them, and there's a bunch of people facing him. So I don't know how we're gonna get in there, you guys, but they are meeting.
And what you get to, Kalisha, from the difference between last time and this time, while the other encounter was more of a mistake because it wasn't Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
it wasn't Zumba day.
Yeah.
This it seemed a heck of a lot more sinister than what you guys ran into. There's a definite purpose and there's a definite sense of discomfort that's arising from what you just saw.
Yeah. And I convey this to them. I'm not sure what you guys want to do. I'm not sure if it's safe if you go in there. I don't know any of the passwords, so it's not like you could sneak in as like the help or anything. I don't know. What do you two want to do?
Well, we need this, right?
The Whisperers are the servants of Ganjur. If anything, now that Ganjur is out of the Shadow Realm and he is in our Tempest Bay, we need to know where he is, and they would know. Plus, there was a secret compartment that we need
down
to
there. We tell them to tell us what they know. If they don't, we punch them until they do.
Okay. All right.
That is my plan.
Okay. All right. You got this, Zubov? You got this?
2 steps.
Okay.
Ask question, punch in the face. Maybe even punch to get the answer.
Punch face, then ask questions.
Now you understand.
All right. All right. I love it. I love it. Let's do this, you guys. Let's do this.
Okay, so you both have dark vision, correct? Irsk and Zubov. All right. So you have several things to contend with at this point. You have the Kalisha has the benefit of invisibility moving into the trapdoor. You guys do not. How do you guys want to approach that with a populace in the park?
I've got a slingshot. I think I can take a shot at maybe some glass or something in order to cause a distraction.
Here, I thought you were going to pick somebody off if they're looking for it.
Quit looking at me, Swan.
I mean, you could just hit a dude and he goes, "Ow!" and then everyone like crowds around to figure out what happened.
We're on it.
Whatever.
I'm gonna pick the guy that looks like Kelly from HR.
Oh no.
Oh, I know. I could possess somebody and cause a ruckus and then quick jump out of them.
That's fantastic.
Everybody,
That would work.
Okay.
And because as you guys
Unless
know,
you need
so
that for later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Yeah, maybe don't waste an action.
You might be
Maybe
able,
don't
I think you can only do
waste
that
it.
like once or twice a day.
I think you're right. Recharge 6.
As funny as that might be, I think
Oh, you're fine.
slingshot to somebody. Not
yeah,
a killing shot.
yeah, right. And so
Okay.
so where Zubov and Irsk, where you guys see that this trapdoor is, like, it's at sort of the forward point of this crescent of the park, and the sort of some of the main sort of buildings and places where you can read about certain things are a bit further back towards the entrance of the park, and there's a few structures there that you could definitely hit. That would cause a sort of a ruckus, Irsk, maybe just sort of as a distracting point.
Yeah.
Not necessarily glass, but there's some metal. There's some other things that around there that, well, there would be a glass for the cover of the sort of the reading panes of the history. Yeah, so you could definitely find something that would at least give you some of this, slow 45-degree angle, slow curve that's sort of going back towards the front. So if people are walking towards you, they could be distracted and sort of look like, what the heck was that? And give you just a chance to sort of jump into that trapdoor.
Cool. So I'll take a couple shots. Take 3 shots at some varying points over there to really draw some.
Okay. So you do that. Not that we roll for that. It's a stationary object. So, do you guys want to position yourselves closer to the trap door, just so that once it is successful, you guys can move quickly? Okay. So you do that. You guys move up and sort of nonchalantly, fly casual. Don't look like you're walking towards the trap door,
Right.
but you do that, and then you launch 3 slingshots, and you sort of focus on this one reading pane of parts of the park that has this glass cover towards it, and you do shatter it. And there's 2, like a family, a couple and a young boy, were actually walking towards you, and with those 3 shots, they're distracted. It's like, what happened there? So they turned around, and so they're looking back towards that way, sort of distracted from walking, not following you guys, but walking towards your direction. So you guys get that chance. You pop open the cover, and you both just at least get into that. So who's going first?
I think, Zubov should go first. I've got some good stealth, so maybe I can kind of slip in
Okay.
last anyway.
Okay. So it's about a 10-foot drop. How tall are you, Zubov?
Zubov is 6'8".
Nice.
So he's a big slab of steak. So do you want to go to like sort of your lowest extension before jumping into this anteroom? Because you sort of have the lay of the land as how Kalisha explained it to you. But how do you want to approach that? Since you're going in first, and you'll have plenty of time to make this action work. So it's not like you guys are fighting a time delay. But I just want to get a sense of how you guys are going to approach this entry into this area.
Yeah, I'll kind of like grab onto the edge and like swing myself down, and then like hang down like a gorilla, and just kind of like scan the area, make sure it's clear, and then drop down the rest of the way.
Okay. And that gives. And how tall are you, Irsk?
5'11".
Okay. So you're good. So okay, so you guys both get in, and then of course, Kalisha, you're just floating in there, and so you, Zubov, you land, and at the very far corner of this anteroom, and it's exactly as Kalisha described. You see, sort of strewn about 5 sort of piles of equipment and collections of things, like nothing very interesting. And you see coming in from that corridor that's about maybe 8 to 10 feet at a 45-degree angle to you, to the corridor, you see that sort of dancing firelight. And, and then at this point, you guys, you get a sense of heavy perfume of incense, but there's something else in there as well that's definitely not incense, and it's not very friendly for sure.
Ooh.
Wow.
And you hear some like low talking. Can't really make it out just yet, but like rumbling and sort of answer, question and response style talking. So you get a sense of one person talking and then others responding.
Okay.
But no one's in here. Everyone's in the other room.
Can I float in closer to see if I can make out what they're saying?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
I'd like to sneak the corner just to make sure that we don't know how powerful or what we're going up against. So, there's no guarantee that you being invisible will hold. Just so you're aware, Kalisha.
Okay.
So I'd be careful.
All right. You
So,
got my
okay, you
back.
want to roll? You want to roll for stealth on that, Irsk?
So that would be stealth is 8, so dirty 20.
Nice.
Okay. Roll a waste for So you move up through this sort of strewn about equipment, and you're very stealthily avoiding everything. And you get up to the corner of the corridor, and you sort of turn your head ever so slightly in there. And you're getting a very similar vantage point to what Kalisha saw. You get a sense of bodies sort of covering the width of, so at least 3 bodies that are half the height of this person speaking, and the person who's facing you and is sort of semi-lit in one sense, and you can hear him saying, "As the acolytes of Ganjor, you will be graced with eternal lift and rejoicing in the eternal battle that you are going to be a successful part of. He has personally told me that you are the reason that we will prevail. How does that make you feel?" And you hear a response, "Worthy, worthy, worthy." So definitely riling up the psychos here in this ante room.
Damn.
About how many
And-
are there?
Well, you see at least 4. You see one guy facing you, and from the corridor's depth and the width of the depth of the corridor, you can see at least 3 heads sort of facing the host. So, but you're not quite sure how many beyond. I mean, Kalisha would know how wide the anteroom is, but it's not very big. It's not a very big area. So it's both of these rooms are not massive, 200 by 200 feet rooms. They're 20 by 20 sort of thing. So it's not very
Okay.
huge.
Okay.
And with the incense smell and this other smell that you're feeling that this room is already packed, or at least, you know how you sense when it's, air conditioning is struggling to meet the the capacity of a room. Well, you can tell that the capacity of this room is already reached, and the smell of the incense is actually overtaking sort of the regular air in there. Zubov, what are you up to? Obviously, that Irsk is sort of looking around the corner, and you're hanging
Right.
back at the exits, or at least the drop part of the trapdoor.
Yeah, I know that I'm like a lot faster than Urshk, but he's a lot more stealthy than I am. So I'm basically letting him take the lead with scouting ahead and just like maintaining eye contact to see like
Okay.
what he has to.
Yeah, I'm
if
going
he
to kind
spots
of
anything.
look back towards Zubov and say, "There's at least 4. We're punching them in the
Smash to kill. Fantastic.
plan A."
Yeah, I'll basically just wait for him to give the signal.
It would have been awesome if you just looked at him and said, like, "Oh, what does that mean?" It's a bunch of
In
hand
fact-
signals.
I'm not sure he would know that this is 4. I think he's just excited.
That's right. Zubov
the-
can't count.
The boy's not literate.
So he's thinking there's 20 guys in there now.
Right. Just happy to be able to punch people.
Oh, that's classic. Okay. So, Kalisha, what are you up to? So, obviously, you see that Irsk is just sort of peeking around the corner, trying to get a sense of what's going on, and you just saw the hand signals that he sent back to Zubov
Yeah.
with that, 4, and basically that you would agree with him because that's all you sort of get a sense that you saw, and we got 4 enemies that we are could be dealing with here.
I'm so curious. I want to hear more. So I'm kind of like inching myself tiny bit at a time, even though Urshk told me to be careful. I'm being careful, but I'm still kind of like inching because I want to know where Ganjor is.
Okay.
And I know they're talking about him now.
So you're walking. Sorry, you're floating.
No,
You're floating in the corridor towards, ever so slowly,
slowly.
towards this gathering. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
And actually, I'm up on the ceiling. Because I feel comfortable up there now. Like, I'm kind of like
Right. As one would
sliding
be.
along the
Right.
ceiling.
Or
Yeah,
at least as
looking down.
Kayleisha would be.
Yeah.
All right. So, you slowly creep as like along the top part of this
I'll
sort of
just
rough hewn.
backwards crab walk, on the
Oh, great!
ceiling.
You just took it to the creepy place. Wonderful. So
Yeah.
great. So the ring is now appearing in our show here. I mean, you've got the hair for it, don't you?
Right.
So
I'm at
okay,
the
so
corner
you're.
going,
So Zubov sees you going like that. He's like, "Oh."
Utterly confused at this point,
Yeah.
but it's a common feeling for him.
It's common feeling. So Kayleisha, you make it to the edge of the corridor. So now you are the closest you've been yet, and you can clearly see now that you've gotten to see it. There's 5 sort of beings, and you can tell now that they're kneeling in front of this person. So that's why they look shorter. They're kneeling, and they're standing in front of this one person who just keeps talking about this ensuing battle, and the waxing gibbous is going to be our beacon for success, and we are going to make this plane ours, and each of you will have kingdoms of riches and women and everything that you desire on this plane and all the others. Just completely, enraging them and like bringing up their spirits and sort of moving towards some sort of emotional crescendo, but you're not quite sure where he's getting at. But they're definitely buying into the Kool-Aid here that he's given.
Going to make the motion 5 to Urshk. 5. Zubov's just waving.
so I'm gonna.
Well,
I'm looking at.
He's looking
Kayleisha,
impatient.
Like, she's gonna make the sign. Like, you tell us when.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Now there's
Okay.
5 plus the guy, right? It's not 4 plus him. It's 5 plus 1.
Oh, okay. So
Because it's 5. There's 5 like people like kneeling in front of him, and then there's the main guy who's talking.
6 guys.
okay.
Oh my god.
All right.
Just get rid of this stupid background. It's annoying me.
We're not going to Dagobah anymore.
No.
Oh, okay.
It annoys me. It's my default setting. I keep forgetting to turn it off.
Yeah.
So okay, so you know that there's 5 in front, and there's 6. 6 in total. 5 in the front plus
Right.
the main guy. And Kayleisha, you get a set. So when you get there, you see that if you remember correctly, that there was multiple statues that were spaced out within this small space in this area, and at the end is the statue of Saloon, right? The other statues are really creepily draped with like black sheets, so they're all just being covered, and the only one that is uncovered is Saloon's, and being lit up by this sort of orangish but also greenish, and a little bit of purple. It's a very odd fire. So there's some chemicals going on in this fire to sort of give a very odd feeling to it, especially to her statue.
Right.
And so he just continues to talk and sort of, rousing up the troops, as it were. Yeah, so you don't get a sense yet that they're coming to some sort of action, like, okay, everybody pack up, let's go. But he's just rambling at this point, and
Right.
they're eating it up like pie.
I think it's time we make a move. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna signal for Zubov to start coming. I'm gonna just turn the corner, and say, "I've come here to chew bubble gum and wax some gibbous, and I'm all out of bubble gum."
Yes and amen.
Yeah. You go, Urshk. Hey, we broke the dungeon master. We didn't even try.
I'm out of bubble gum. Nice. So, okay, so you motion Zubov to come, and Zubov, that's a rudimentary. You probably understand that part.
Oh yeah.
Quite quickly.
Yeah, I've got my shield out, my flail just kind of like spinning, just ready to go.
And so you basically you flip from the corner, Irsk, and you just sort of basically stand right in the middle of the corridor, full frontal. I'm right here.
And,
Frontal.
Ooh.
Well, I didn't say full Monty. I said full frontal.
Ooh.
Unless he's got an action I don't know about.
Too late now.
It's
okay?
that kind of campaign.
Urshk,
Do I
take your
get any
clothes
more
off.
intimidation if I do
Let's-
come out full frontal and say all of that?
Well, you would, but unfortunately, if in your case, it's a waiting gibbous, not a waxing. So
Oh,
Oh. Oh.
that hurt my heart.
mission accomplished.
I mean, you're
DM's choice.
you're rotting. Something's got to give.
Oh wow. Yeah, that was awesome. Okay, so you get the element of surprise. So what happens is you scream that, and they are completely caught off guard. So before they get an action or a turn, you can have a free attack with advantage on. Well, you're still at the end of the corridor, so you've got three sort of heads that you can see that just sort of like whipped around, and their hoods sort of, flurried, and you see the person who was speaking to them shoots in mid looks up at sort of down the corridor. So you got a clear shot to that person, and you've got three other heads that have just sort of turned back around. So you've got a multitude of targets. Like I said, you got advantage, and you got the surprise on them.
Okay. So
I'm going to whisper to Urshk, don't forget to don't kill the big guy. We need to find out where Gonjur is. Just let me know.
So I would like to cast a spike growth. The ground in a 20-foot radius centered upon a point within range twists and sprouts hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves
Nice.
into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing. For every 5 feet it travels. And I am going to place that directly on the speaker.
Oh.
Okay, and there's no saving throw to that, right? It's just it's an area
It is
effect.
a spell cast up to 10 minutes.
Like a cantrip?
I think it's dex saving
No.
throw.
It's a second level spell.
Oh.
Spike
Hang
growth?
on. Transformation of the ground is camouflage. The only saving throw is any creature that can't see the area at the time the spell is cast makes a wisdom perception check against the spell to recognize the terrain as being hazardous.
So they'll each get basically a wisdom check.
Oh yeah,
basically.
no saving throw. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet.
Yes, that they move. Yes, but
That's really
they can. Their only sort of saving throw, as it were, would be to realize that something's happening to the ground and try to avoid it, basically.
Right.
Okay.
All
All right.
So you just fenced him in, didn't you?
Well, the only one that's going to make that wisdom check on that spell is the speaker. The other the other 5, as you know at this point, that you don't necessarily see them, but the other 5 are sort of dumbfounded and don't really know how to react to this. So let me see if he's going to make that spell check. And he does not. All right, so Irsk just launches this amazing diatribe bubble gum and throws this earth bending, shifting, and you see the statues actually sort of moving as well, and these spikes grow into them, and each of them are enveloped, and they are entrapped in that. And at this point, so the initial damage is it they're just trapped, and they only take damage if they move, correct?
I believe they let's see, no, into when a creature moves into or is within the area, so they'll all take 2d4 damage
2d4,
for every
okay.
5 feet it travels. So I don't know if they would.
But the initial damage isn't there, so they're just like
There's
now
no
entrapped
initial
in it.
damage. It's only movement
Okay.
damage, so
All
they're
right.
basically ensnared.
Gotcha. Okay. So, all right. So that was the initial attacks. Now, I'd like everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Here we
Got it.
go.
Oh, I do have advantage on initiative.
6.
That's way better. Dirty 20.
So, Irsh, you got a 6.
I got a 6.
Zuba,
I got 25.
Yikes. Okay.
I couldn't find my new initiative. I'm like, where did I write it on this paper?
Oh no.
I found it. It's a +6.
Just give me a second here. Just gonna roll for initiative for each of the acolytes there. And finally,
That looks so elegant, Zubov.
Oh, the brandy?
Sniffed her. Yeah.
It's
So
like
elegant.
bottom shelf brandy. But it's tasty.
all right. So we are going
Tea
to
and
go
jingling.
with.
Nice.
So, Kalisha, you're going to be first. Then it's going to be Zubov. Then it's going to be one of the acolytes. Then a second acolyte. And then it's going to be the third acolyte. Then it's Irshk, the 6, which tells you they didn't roll very well.
Nope.
That die away.
And then we've got 7, 8, 9. All right. So with that set, we are into full battle, and
Okay.
Kalisha, you
Yes.
are up, floating along the. Now, from the perspective of the enemy, once you
Uh-huh.
launch your attack or whatever you're going to do you become visible?
I will, because I want to start with horrifying visage, and don't forget I'm crab walking upside down on the ceiling.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm gonna like position myself right over them.
Okay.
Right over the 5 kneeling guys. I'm going to
Yeah, okay,
shout
that's-
out, Urshk, Zubov, shut your eyes for a second. And I'm gonna like, well, you have to succeed on a D13 before you get
Oh,
scared.
okay. So each of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in order of their.
I mean, I
They're-
imagine that the leader would probably see it too, because it's everyone.
No, you're right. Yeah, they're going to be. Yeah, all 6 of them are going to be
Yeah.
affected by it.
Yeah.
So 13, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So all of them are affected by your spell except 2 of the acolytes kneeling. So
But
what
my
is the effect, please?
spell- I don't
What's that?
smell. I don't smell.
Your
You said
spell.
they're affected by
Your
my
spell.
Oh, my spell!
And what's
I
possible-
like
Put a spell, it's an ability.
Oh, bad.
I don't smell. I'm a ghost.
No, your spell
worse.
affects all of them except 2. So can you please explain the effect of the spell, please?
Yes, I'm crab walked right over top of them,
Mm-hmm.
and I make myself visible, and I'm like, "Hey, ass clowns up here!" Roar!
Check out this bubble gum. Okay, all right.
And now they are frightened for 1 minute. A frightened creature repeats the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. If the saving throw is effective or the effect ends from it, then they're immune from horrifying visage for 24 hours. But I like to start with that.
Dang. So basically, their attacks are rendered null because they're
They're
just
so
like scared to shit. Wow.
They're so
Okay.
scared.
Okay.
And you
give me-
said 4 of them, 4 out of 6?
Yeah. So let me just figure out who can attack next. 'Cause that's somewhat complicated at this point. So Zubov, you're up, and so because you came behind Irsk and you're standing in the corridor, and you see Kalisha, sort of her appendages from the ceiling coming down, and she just screams down at these whole group of them. And you see the leader who's facing you. He's like, ah! And 4 of the other 5, just these acolytes sort of collapse in fear. 3 of them collapse in fear. And there's one that you can see, and there's one sort of off to the right that you can barely see, who's not moving and collapsing like this. So you got a clear shot on one of them.
There's the one off to the right, and then...
Yeah, the one off to the right is just a little bit like the angle from the corridor from where you're standing at the far end of it. You don't have an angle ready to hit him. The one that you can hit is one of the 3 that are sort of within the hole of the corridor.
Okay. The leader, is he on like a raised platform of some kind?
He is not. He is just standing, basically. But right now, he's sort of not the same level of the other ones because they were kneeling. They've sort of like cowered and even sort of more close to the ground. He's just sort of cowering down, but he's still a good 3.5, 4 feet above the heads of the ones that are kneeling in front of him.
Okay. I have 40 feet of movement.
Okay.
So I don't have a straight shot at the leader, right?
Yeah, you do actually. He's just... Kalisha, did they give a disadvantage in this case for your spell because they're not even concerned with any sort of battle or evasion maneuvers?
It doesn't say it. It does not say anything for
Creature has
that.
disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear. While it's within the source of its fear.
Right, but I'm thinking that if the character is, sort of just like cowering away and afraid, typical in a battle when you're sort of dueling back and forth and you see your combatant and you see an attack coming, you could sort of like, oh shit, there's a blade, I'm going to try and dodge it. We'll just play it up straight then. Okay, that's cool. All right. So yes, you do have a clear shot on 3 of the acolytes, 2 of which are cowering, 1 isn't. And then you've got the leader sort of still cowering, but a open enough shot that you can hit him.
Okay. If I were to make my way on stage to the leader, would one of the acolytes who is not cowering be a threat to me?
You could run between. So you've got a guy who wasn't affected by it. You've got two side by side who are cowering away. So you could split the defense and move yourself through the two of them who have, if you want to use a football analogy, who have made a hole to get to the quarterback. If you like football.
Mhm. Is the thorn still surrounding the leader?
Absolutely, the entire area is actually full of thorns. Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, that's
Right.
it's going to complicate things because
Oh,
that will affect me
yeah.
as well. But I can tank that. That's fine. Does it become difficult terrain?
It becomes
Yes.
difficult terrain. Yes.
Okay, that might change things. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to bonus action rage.
Yeah.
And mark that off. And basically just gonna go for the quarterback and
Yeah.
see if I can make it.
Zubov, don't kill him though.
Okay, so as you enter the corridor, so you exit the corridor, sorry, at the other end, and you run into the thorny field, you've got probably about 10 feet to get to Justin Fields. I'm sorry, the leader. Sorry, little Chicago Bears action there.
Yep,
Sorry.
I appreciate it.
So every 5 feet, correct? Irsk is 2d4.
Yes.
All right. So Zubov, to get to the leader, you're going to take. You're going to take 12 damage. So,
Reduced to 6 because I'm raging.
so there you go. So it's 6. So you see Zubov just bolt through the corridor and power through these spikes, and he's taking damage. You see like blood coming out of his arms and his legs, pushes through, and he actually splits the two of them who have been affected by the frighten, and boom, he lands basically right in front of the leader, who's also carrying away and isn't really paying attention to him at this point because he's just like petrified of that bubblegum chick who's floating on the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes!
I'm gonna beat his ass.
Oh, you have another. That's right. Okay, so you have a. All right.
I've got 2 attacks.
All right.
I can find it on my sheet. There we go. First attack. Dirty 20.
That is a hit for sure.
All right.
What are you using, by the way?
Uh,
What's your?
My flail. My plus
Okay.
1 flail. That's going to be 10 points of damage. Like,
Okay.
bonk him on the head.
Bonk.
And then
Bonk, bonk on the
second
head.
attack. is
Wait,
going to
so
be
you
an
have-
18.
So you sprinted. You got there. That took you. That was as an action for your rage. Is that how that
A
worked?
bonus action for rage.
Okay,
I
and
just
you
use
had
my
that.
40 feet of movement
Okay,
and my bonus action to rage. So I
Okay.
still have my attack.
and even with the encumbered movement within the like sort of spike field, that you still cover that
If it's within 40 feet. Yeah.
within 40 feet. Okay, good. All right, cool. Yep,
Cool. And then my second attack is an 18 to hit.
that is a hit.
All right. That will be 12 points of damage. Then that
All
will
right.
be my go.
So as Zubov emerges from this tangle of spikes and weeds, you see him still within the fray land 2 great hits on the leader, who's still basically covering himself and trying to hide himself from this scourge that's on the ceiling. And he takes 2 really bad hits and really good hits, in fact, and takes damage. And there we go. So next up, we are going to go to the acolyte who you blew by. Is going to look at you, Zubov. and he is going to cast Ray of Frost on you.
Uh-oh.
He will try.
He'll give it a yeoman effort. Yes.
Give it a go.
Okay. So so he like incants and shoots this ray of frost from his hands and completely misses you, misses the statues, and just hits the back of the cavern.
Is that a
And
natural one?
no, but I mean it was not very far away from it. If it was a natural one, he would have knocked the statue over or something.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the second one that isn't entangled is also witnessing your attack on the leader, and in fact, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a percentage on that. Oh, so the acolyte that is going to attack Kalisha because she showed herself, and he is going to throw acid arrow at you.
I am resistant to acid.
And he rolls a 15. Is that a hit?
I don't. My armor class is 14, but if I'm resistant to acid, how does that work?
You're resistant.
Yeah, let's see here.
That means any acid damage that you take is reduced by half.
Thanks.
So it would hit you, but then whatever damage it is you cut it in half.
Got it.
Okay, so it's 4d4.
44.
4d4.
Oh.
No, yeah, you get 44
44
damage right off the bat for the low level acolyte.
Wow.
Wow.
8 damage, so 4. So you take half damage.
Okay.
And Irsk, you are up.
Okay. I am going to use my bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on the leader.
Okay.
And then
I'm so used to writing Hunter's Mark for you. It's like a second. I have my own way of doing it.
oh no, I don't want to do that. That's too crazy. All right, I'm just going to cast Firebolt at the leader.
Firebolt. Okay. All right.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
That is 15 to hit.
Just give me a second here. That is a hit.
All right. And that would be 11 damage.
Ah, the music's gone. Ah, the Zubov's gone. Ah,
Sorry.
yeah.
She's
So-
dead. Oh. And then with my second action, I am
Yep.
going to. What does this one do? Okay, and then I am going to cast Ray of Frost on the leader.
Oh.
All right.
That is, again, 15 to hit.
That is a hit. Jesus, man. He's fucking piling on this guy. Jesus.
He should have kept his trap shut.
Wrong place, wrong time, and no bubble gum.
No bubble gum.
What you get for wearing the funny hat.
Let me smell your breath. That's 2 damage.
2.
All right.
And that's it for me.
All right. So they are going to roll through their saving throws. It was 13, right? For the fear.
Yes.
Okay.
And then with the Ray of Frost, the leader's movement is reduced by 10.
Okay. All right.
until the start of my next turn.
Jesus Christ.
Are they all still scared?
Charles,
Yes. What did I say?
you sound so disappointed. Like things are not going well for you.
Oh.
I mean, no, I'm rooting for you guys. This is great. I'm happy for the heroes. Okay, so one of them made, not the leader, but one of them made their saving throw. So now there's a third acolyte who is sort of coming out of this fear and like looking around like what the hell's happening. So, but the other three are cowering as usual, and I'm not biased whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so we are back at the top of the round, and Kalisha, it is your attack.
Awesome. I'm going to quick shout over to Ershkin Zubov. Don't forget, don't kill the leader. We need him to tell us where Ganjor is.
We need to make him a friend.
No, he has information that we need. So like, don't kill him. We need
This
to.
is still Plan A, punching him in the face.
Meanwhile, I'm going to fly. 3 of them are still scared. So, and I can do this twice. I'm going to reach out each hand and do Withering Touch on 2 of the scared people. Like one guy here and one guy here. So like.
So 2 of the ones who weren't frightened, or who have made their
Who
saving
are
throw.
still frightened.
Is that a touch spell, or is it just Withering Touch as a cast?
It's a touch spell.
The
Withering
2
Touch
guys.
is like melee. Plus
So you
5
need-
to hit.
You aren't able to do 2 people with that touch at once.
Oh, they're not standing next to each other?
Well, there are 2
Or kneeling
acolytes.
next to each other?
What you could do is you could do one acolyte who isn't under your fear spell and one who is. That's what you could do.
Okay, I'll do that then. Why not?
Okay, so there's only one spot. Okay. all right.
And we're plus 5 to hit. Plus 5 to hit.
So give me a second here. There's 2.
Yeah. 12 to hit on the first.
Okay, let me just bring this up here. Oh, that is a hit, actually. All right.
Actually, it's plus 6. I'm looking at my app, and it's really plus 6.
Yeah.
It's
So
11.
hey, you're good. You got
So
it
it's
covered.
13 hit. Okay. And let's see, 4d6 on that one. 2, 3, 4. This is the non-scared guy.
No, this is the no, you're right. Non-scared guy. Yes.
Okay, non-scared guy gets 3, 6, 11. 11 plus 3, 14. 14 necrotic damage.
14.
14, yeah.
Okay.
And now touching the scared guy. 6, 14 a hit.
That's a hit.
Okay.
I mean, that's a hit.
That's a hit. All right. And he has 6. Is that a 6 or a 1? It's a moon. It's a 6. Okay, 6.
Where's the line? It's an old Cheers reference.
No, it's it's a moon. Can you see that? It's
Yeah.
moon.
Yeah. It's a classic Cheers episode. Wait a second. We got an 11 here. Remember that one? Same thing. Sorry. Same story.
That's 19 necrotic damage.
Yikes.
Plus, if he's frightened, he's aged 1d4 times 10 years. Okay.
Wow.
When he-
Oh,
Yes,
That
Charles.
was a
Since
perfect
he's
face.
scared.
Wait,
Can you explain that a little bit more, please? So wait, he's like an AARP now? He's gonna go sign up and do stuff?
he gets a
Yeah,
free donut
like-
on Wednesdays now.
I did Withering Touch on him. Okay. He received necrotic damage. And
Yes.
because he's already scared, he's going
Yes.
to age now on top of that. And let's see, 1d4.
We're going
And
hard
that's
into
a
the
one.
intimidation factor here.
So he's only aged 10 years. He can reverse this spell with a greater restoration spell if any of his friends know that spell.
So how does that affect his ability to? So I mean, I get it. You age 10 years, you're put on 15 pounds. You start drinking cheap wines and maybe listening to
I don't
Willie
know.
Nelson? I don't know.
He's just old and scared. I guess he's frail now. I don't know.
Listening to
I mean,
King
if anything-
Crimson.
Pearl Jam. Hey, that's me.
Ooh, that hits me.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
make
I'm
you feel
just
less bad.
reading
You start
what it
listening to
says.
Buddy Holly and the Crickets.
Okay. Okay, so basically he took a crap ton of damage, and you see that he is really not looking good. So he's beyond half. Both of them, in fact, are no, not just the one is beyond half, and he like withers, but I mean, he's already struggling, of course. So he's just like he's not doing good at all. And Zubov, you are up. So you witness this that Kalisha just like floats down and sort of like this almost electric, see-through electric damage coming through these two characters here. One of them who is like available and is able to attack, and he takes damage, and the other one is like takes damage and withers, and you're like, what the hell is she doing, man? She is just going crazy over there. But you are still facing the leader, and it's your attack.
Does he still look like he's got some fight in him?
He's still hiding. He's still like protecting himself. He's still afraid of what was happened before.
I'm gonna use my action to try to intimidate him. Just basically like whip around the flail a little bit that probably has his blood on it, and then just say,
Talk.
So basically, it would be a counter to that. Would be a roll above his intimidation, correct? Like to see if he would be susceptible to that.
I believe so, or it's like a wisdom ability, something like that.
Perception. Okay, good enough. So what do you roll?
There we go. The score to beat is 18.
Ooh.
So he's got wisdom plus 0. So he fails. And I also did a disadvantage because he's also afraid. So I just threw that in there. So what do you do? How do you want to intimidate him?
Yeah, I'm basically just like grabbing him by the collar and just like threatening to cave his face in. Basically just telling him to like start talking about Ganjor. What do you know?
Yeah, do it.
So he says to you, he's my master, and he is more powerful than you.
Where is he?
He's hiding. You'll never find him. He's not hiding in his lair. He's not there. He would never go back there. It's why do you ask these questions? It's not right.
Maybe I
He's
jog
not-
your memory.
He's not.
And that's my turn.
Well, he says before it ends, he goes, he's not in the Necrospire at all. You're looking at the wrong place.
Okay.
Oh, we're not here for Gondor. We're here for Gondor. Totally different guy.
Oh.
Have you seen some hobbits? Nero, he's back at the tavern. All right. So 3. So at this point, I'm going to.
I'm really digging this music, by the way.
It's fantastic. The music is just so good. And
From The Witcher.
I'm
Nice.
loving it.
You're still back at the other end of the corridor, right? You never.
Yeah, I
you never
never
advanced, right? Okay. So I'm going to. All right. So Zubov, one of the. Actually, what he's going to do is he's going to. A second here. Here we go. So you see the one that the acolyte that hasn't been touched yet. He moves to go and touch you, Zubov, and he takes damage. What's damage, Irshk, for the movement?
2d4.
2d4. Oh, dang. 7. Wow. Okay. So he starts screaming towards you and cutting himself because he's moving towards Zubov and the leader, and he is going to cast Vampiric Touch on you.
Oh,
Bad touch.
So you're going to take 3d6 necrotic damage, and that's for hits. Let me write this here. $16. Is that a hit for you?
Is that Urshk or Zubov?
It's for you, Zubov.
Oh my god. That is a miss.
Okay. So you
DC
see
is
this
19.
19. All right. So you see this acolyte who is sort of from behind. You see this like struggling through this nasty nest of vines and spikes, taking damage, and he lunges towards you. And because he's being taken damage, he actually misses you. So that's his roll. And then the last one, who is going to, again, this is the one that went for Keelisha. So he's going to focus still on you, Keelisha.
okay.
And he is going to... Oops, just a second here. So he's going to launch Witch's Bolt at you. Natty 20. Wow.
Yeah!
Ooh.
Wow.
That hits. It hits.
All right. Yeah. So you're going to take 1d12. So you see that this one of the acolytes who's still entangled, he's not entangled actually. He launches this electric blue energy lances out of his fingers right at you and hits precisely, and you take 11 damage on that.
Would you call that lightning?
Yes.
Damage?
Yes.
I'm resistant to that too. So half of
Great.
11. Do you want to call
rounded
it a
down,
5 or
so it would be
6?
Yes,
5.
so 5. Yep. Take 5
All right.
damage.
Got it.
All right. Erst, you're up.
Okay, so the one that attacked Kalisha.
Yeah, and he's well, actually he's
I
at the
got
far
him.
end. Again, yeah, you don't see him. He can move and make that sort of next step, but you're just seeing this like lightning electricity coming from the right-hand side heading up towards her.
Okay, so I'm gonna move in a little bit in order to bring him into range. So
Okay.
I can see everybody, and I am going to pull down the lapel of my my leather armor, revealing the mark upon my chest that was given to me, the Devil's Mark,
Ooh.
which is an
Wow.
automatic cast at the person that is attacking Kalisha, dealing 2d8 plus 2 necrotic damage.
Oh
Ah!
my god, what is this? This is new.
You've
What the
never
hell is
whipped
this?
that out before.
Bestowed upon me
Oh,
by
he's- It's whipping
when,
it out.
Brad was
I
DM.
thought it was be like a rebel thing, like from the Noti or something like that from
That was the
Ahsoka.
Devil's Mark from Brad when I got touched by the devil way back when.
Bastard,
Ooh.
Brad. Yeah, he hits you with the devil's mark, then he just goes off and goes to service our country. Bastard. Wow.
Serve
Okay.
Country
Holy
as a
shit balls.
kid, and here you are with this devil's mark.
And there's no save throw or anything. It is just 14 damage.
Ursh,
Classic
But I
fuck
can
you
only use
damage.
it once a day.
Ursh, we need to talk about this.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So you move up in the corridor, and you just like as you're whipping around towards the right, you just take off this part of the lapel, and this beam of like just necrotic damage just smacks this guy, and actually, you do some serious damage to him. Holy shitballs. Okay. Jesus. Apparently, I need to study your character a bit more because that was unexpected.
Ooh.
Okay, so is that like a bonus action? And you can like
It is
what's
it's
your
an action?
okay?
So I use one of those actions for that.
So basically, just to give you guys an idea here, you've got Zubov and the leader, sort of maybe 5 feet in front of the sort of row of acolytes, and everyone's sort of in this melee, right, of tangled weeds and shit.
Right.
And Irst, you just moved up to the very edge of the corridor, not in this nest, but in this nest you've got acolyte number 1 who's hasn't been damaged at all, but he's like tangled and frightened. You've got acolyte number 2 who just took a little bit of damage, not too much, from Kalisha. Then you've got number 3 who doesn't look very good at all. You got number 4 who looks even worse than him, and you got number 5 who you just hit. So you got this sort of row of acolytes, only one of who you haven't damaged yet, and the other ones look at least half damaged and not looking very good.
Okay.
And the one thing you notice at this point, Irsk, is that they're all wearing these robes, these dark robes, but with like this purple sort of edged and bordered cloaks. Very ornate, very sort of cult looking, but definitely something that is preparing them for what their mission is about to happen. So that's one little thing that you notice.
Okay.
Are they wearing Nike
so
sneakers?
My second action. So acolytes 4 and 5. Are they
They're wearing Sauconys.
right next to each other?
Yes, Acolyte 4 and 5, which the one that's right next to the one you just hit looks worse for wear than the one you just hit. But they're both, one of them is not entangled because he just attacked Kalisha. The other one is like frightened and entangled.
Okay, so I am going to. Where are you? Where are you? So I am going to cast Ice Knife at number 4.
Okay.
And that is an 8 to hit.
That's a miss.
Hmm.
And that sucks. So I'm done.
Wow.
Easy come,
it's
easy
your
go.
first. It's your first miss as a group. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't feel so bad for you.
I swear this never happens.
Rigged.
This is the first time this has ever happened.
All right. So we are starting back up, and well, not really, but
Okay.
that's the.
Well, oh, actually, I forgot.
Oh.
I'm using Ice Knife. So, as it's going past this guy's head,
Yes.
it explodes, and
Oh.
we'll take
Okay.
1d10. So each of them will take 1d10 damage.
Jeez,
So
you
between-
just pulled that out of your ass.
But I forgot that.
Little
Oh yeah, I
surprises tonight.
forgot.
So number 4 takes 2 damage,
Okay.
and number 5 takes 5 damage.
All right. Nice. Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
These trick plays just pop up when we need them. All right. So saving throw time.
Is he still
I
scared?
swear. I swear I'm not rooting for, but holy shit, these rolls are horrible. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
Charles, get new dice, my guy.
Okay. I have 2 sets of playing dice and I have 1 set of DM dice. I do not change. The DM dice is when I'm rolling for DM, and everything else is when I
Mhm.
tickle my fancy for the look and feel. Holy
Okay.
moly. Okay. So 4, 5, and 7. So the leader and the 2 other ones are still frightened for their
Yeah.
saving throw. Wow.
All right.
So it is now the top of the round, and we are back to Kalisha.
All right. I'm gonna say who wants some creepy crawlies.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to let's see. The same 2 guys that I touched before. I'm going
So that's 3
to
and
ask
4. Okay. 3 and 4. Yep. Okay.
One was scared and one wasn't.
Yes.
I'm gonna say so. Either of you guys want to tell me where Gonjor's hiding, or we can get the nice little tickles again.
Well, I guess you need to roll for intimidation because you're not using a spell.
No.
The one who's under sort of the fear spell
Yeah.
is just like sort of collapsing in his own fear, and the other one would just love to swing at you and kill you.
Okay.
So you want to roll an intimidation, and I'll roll the opposite. See if.
All right. Let's use this die. That's only 8 intimidation.
Oh, he actually made it. He looks at you and says, "At my deathbed, spirit."
All right. So I'm going to touch them. Try to touch them both again.
Okay.
The first one is
With what are you
13.
using now?
Withering touch again.
Oh, so you have a second. You can. This is a cantrip.
It doesn't say that I have a limit on it. It's like a melee weapon attack.
Okay.
So-
All right. All right.
It's the only thing I got really. So it's a 13 to hit.
The first one is a hit.
All right, this is the guy who is not scared,
Yes.
and that is 4, 9, 10, 13, 19 necrotic damage.
How much?
19.
Bitch, are you
All right.
for real?
Yeah, I rolled a 4, a 5, a 1, and a 3. So that's
Lord.
4, 8, and 5 is 13, and it's +6 for my attack bonus. I mean, oh shit, no, it's a +3. It's a +3, not a +6. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
can't math tonight, obviously. So it's only 16 necrotic damage.
It's only 16.
Yeah.
What's death and 2 hit points? I don't know.
Screw that.
So you ask him about Ganjor, and he looks at you and says, "On my deathbed." And you look at him, and you just, one of them, you just lay this on him, and this necrotic damage, and he falls back, and he is this close to death, and
Ooh.
he is very, very close to death. He is not looking good whatsoever.
That
Nice.
could be arranged.
And now I'm going to do it on the other guy.
Your deathbed is ready, sire.
Might want to lay down.
I've fluffed at the pillows.
There's a little chocolate. All right, and then so you lay the second one on the second one, your second hand on the other one.
Let's see. Oh, I don't think I'm going to hit on this one. It's only a 7 to hit.
Yeah, that's a miss. Yeah, so
It's a miss.
he's
Okay.
sort of cowering, and he's afraid. And actually, you try and lay it on his shoulder, but because
Yeah.
he's like trying to hide himself, you actually miss him. So he lives to see another day for a few minutes.
Okay, for a few minutes.
All right, then Zubov, you are up.
All right. This leader guy, he's not telling his people to fall in line and to back off, so I'm gonna keep beating him.
Yeah, he's still under the spell of the fear. He's not doing anything really right now. He's just standing in front of you, cowering away.
Ooh, dog shit. 12?
Ooh.
That's a miss.
Oh.
Okay. Luckily, I have an extra attack, so if I don't like my
Yay!
first one, I could just keep going.
Huzzah!
That's
Are you
much
gonna
better.
like
25?
yank off your shirt?
Yeah, that's a hit. Yeah. And
Oh,
his
that's
two
already
unborn
happened.
Children. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I rolled high. That's going to be 14 points of damage.
Oh.
All right.
And that's going to be my turn.
So
just
you
wail into him.
smack him, you miss one, and then on the sort of reverse turn, you hit him with your flail again, and he is below half points at this point.
Ooh, not looking good. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So then, next we have. Well, he's not going to be able to do anything. He's on death's door. So. Number 2 is going to attack you, Kalisha, because you're right there beside him.
All right.
It's going to be number. So he is going to launch. Yeah, and he misses completely. But he was going for. Oops, wrong character. Just give me a second.
14.
Yeah, he missed Melf's minute meteors, and he just casts it and completely misses you, and slams the backside of the rough-hewn cavern in there, and misses that. And so next up is going to be number 2, who's at the very far end, and because you targeted him, Ears, he's going to go for you, and he is going to. Going to cast sleep on you. So, 20 feet.
Ursh can't sleep.
Well, he doesn't know that, so
He's
Oh.
gonna do it anyway.
he's going to do it
Can't
anyway.
or won't.
I'm sorry.
Since a creature into magical slumber, roll 5d8. Total is how many hit points a creature's spell can affect. So there's no saving throw against. I'm just looking this up right now here. Creature spells.
Is it the sleep spell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just based on your hit points. So if the target has like under whatever it is, 25 hit points, then there's no saving throw. They just
Right. Which is clearly not going to be for Irsk. He's got way more than 25. So basically it's 5d8 then for... Wow, okay. 1, 7... that's 20 hit points.
Ooh. Okay.
So he sort of conjures up and just blasts this little ray at you and hits you back. You're not sleeping, but you take that damage. That's a
Ouch.
powerful spell, man. Jesus.
Ouch.
I mean, I added them as I was building them up. It's like, this sounds cool. And it's like, oh, shit. That is cool.
Nice.
All right. And Irsk, it's actually your attack now.
Okay.
So to
Well,
reiterate, you've got Zubov, who's like just manhandling the leader, and basically he's standing between you and him, in fact. Then you've got the 5 acolytes. You've got one who's entangled and completely feared, but he's taken no damage yet. You've got the next one next to him who is still sort of cowering away, taking a bit of damage. You've got the one beside him is basically on death's door. He's just like basically dangling in the vines, completely out of it. Then next to him, you've got one who's taken some serious damage, and you got the other one at the other end who's also not looking great, who just cast that sleep spell on you.
okay. So the first 3 acolytes, they're right, say if I'm looking at 2, 1 and 3 are like right next to them, right?
Say again?
So the first 3 acolytes, looking
Yes.
at number 2, 1 and
Yes.
3 are right next to him. Like
Yes.
on either side.
Correct. Yeah,
So I'm
and number
going
3
to-
is basically like being like held up by the vines. He's about to bleed out essentially.
Okay. So I am going to, as a bonus action, cast Hail of Thorns, which is basically the next time I hit a creature with a ranged weapon attack before the spell ends, the spell creates a rain of thorns that sprouts from your ranged weapon or ammunition. In addition to the normal effect of the attack, the target of the attack and each creature within 5 feet must make a dexterity saving throw. If you fail, then you will get 3d10 damage.
So like
top of
salt on the wound.
normal attack.
Gotcha.
So number 2.
I'm rubbing
right.
alcohol.
So I am going to take my longbow
Okay.
and make a shot at number 2.
Okay.
That is a 29 to hit.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so that is 1d8 plus 6. So the first guy takes 15 d8, right? No, that's not an 8. 5 and 8. 13 damage for number 2.
Okay.
And then 1, 2, and 3 will also. Oh, they have to make a. They have to beat a 12.
12.
Dex save.
Okay. Second. 1 makes it. 2 makes it. 3 make it. There we go. There's some DM dice rolling.
About time.
Roll thorns. So on a successful creature
Is it
takes
half
D10
damage?
on a 1 on a failed save, or half as much. So half of 3d10,
Okay.
which is 9, 14. So they each take 7 damage.
What was that?
All right, so-
my arrows.
Number 3 is dead, and number 2 is looking very, very bloodied. And number one, this is his first attack, is just starting to get into the fray of it here.
That's
All right.
one that's not being rewarded by Gonjor. How many more will there be?
Ooh.
The Gonjor
Good.
Vacation Club is closed for one of them. All right. All right. Saving throw time. All right. Let's see here. Ooh, leader is now out of fear.
All right.
No. Nope. All right. So, Zubov, you see the leader is like at this point, who's right in front of you and has taken massive damage, finally starts to like come to his senses and like looking around like looking at you in front of. But he's assessing what's going on, and you perceive that his frailty is no longer present. And final attack on this round. Okay, is going to be one of the acolytes is going to go for Irsk, and he is going to use. He is going to try and use Acid Arrow on you. 13.
No hit.
Oh.
So you see him conjuring, even in his like weakened state. He focuses and like, and these like acid arrows like fly just basically by you, just sort of little matrix sort of thing, and hit the wall behind you. All right, and we are back at the top of the round, and Kalisha.
All right.
So, 2, 3. Yeah, you're up.
So I have, still between the guy who is not scared, who is on his deathbed, and the guy who is still scared. Correct?
Yes. Number 1 and 2. Yes, 1 and 2 are, just like you said, scared but depleted, not scared and not looking very good. Number 3 is gone. He's way out. And 4 and 5 are still very damaged, but they're still within the sort of the playing field. One of them is under fear and one of them isn't.
Okay.
The very furthest one is not under the spell. And also you still have the leader as well, who's behind Zubov.
Right.
And you can see that now at this point is that he's sort of coming out of his stupor of fear.
I'm going to tell those two guys, I said I'm going to ask you one more time. Friend, you don't want to die for this guy, do you? Just tell me where he is.
All right, roll that intimidation.
All right. Oh, this one's pretty good. And it's plus 2, 21.
So that's on the first one. Roll 2, please, for both of them, because you got 2 of them.
All right. And 15 for the other one.
So the first one, who is under the fear spell, he's not even responding to you because he's just like sort of very under, like he's just not responding at this point. The second one, he's like, please don't make me tell you this, but our leader is hiding just behind Shadowlight Prison, and I don't know exactly, but our leader has the map to get there. He was about to give it to us before you interrupted us.
Uh-huh.
We don't know. We are newly the acolytes. And he says, this is why we have the crescent tattoo on our face. And then you realize that this marking that they had on their face, which looked like sort of like almost like Ash Wednesday, where you'd get like sort of but it is not. It is literally burned into their face. That the black ooze was spread upon their from the top of the skull all the way down to under their face in a
Ouch.
crescent shape. And
Right.
They look like mumblecore rappers.
Ooh. So he says that the leader has a map to where Ganjor's necrospire is.
Okay. Being that I just spoke, I still have an action and everything still, correct?
Okay.
Okay. So, ghost curtsy, and I say thank you, and I float over to the leader.
What, pray tell, makes it a ghost curtsy?
Because I'm a ghost, ghost curtsy. Thank you.
Okay.
And I float over to Zubov and the leader,
Yes.
and I'm gonna say, "Map, please." Let's see if he gives it to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So I have to roll to see if I
Yes.
intimidate him.
You're
Okay.
intimidating. Yeah.
And that is only a 10.
Yes. Take your little curtsy and fly away, ghost.
Zubov, get him! We need the
Zubov
map!
smash. And in
Pretty
fact, it is your attack, Zubov. So it's up to you.
We-
Good timing.
I'll just kind of nod and without a word start wailing on him. First attack is going to be a 18.
That is a hit.
Cool. That's 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Second attack is, oh my lord, 27 to hit.
Tell me that
Just
doesn't
a bit
hit,
inside. Yes, that's
Which
a hit.
works out to 14 points of bludgeoning damage. First one is more of a graze, and the second one just...
Uppercut. So he looks up at Kalisha and he smirks with the blood, of course, like coming down his mouth because he's just beaten to a pulp. He says, "Not on my life. Go back to your." And he just gets smacked back. He actually hits the statue of Saloon Saloon, sorry, and he's not dead, but he took some major damage, and he is looking
Ooh.
pretty ragged, very much ragged.
Okay. Missing some teeth.
Yeah, and probably some brain cells and various other things.
I didn't hear no bell.
All right. So let's do some. All right, we've got Acolyte number 1 is back from the patheticness of not being afraid. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now the one far to the left, far to the right is, now that Kalisha's moved, he's going to roll for either Kalisha or Zubov. Zubov, actually. Probably a mistake, but we'll go with it anyways. He is going with a Eldritch Blast.
He's raging. He don't feel shit.
16. Is that a hit?
That is a miss. AC is 19.
Again, he don't feel shit.
PCP makes me numb.
Blind.
Flies past him, flies past the things, hits the back of the cavern, and does nothing. And Irsk, you are up. You've got a roster of pretty pathetic looking acolytes. Number 1 is basically the one that looks the healthiest, and he's still right now he just woke up. So you saw with the leader the last round, sort of like coming out of his fear stupor. Well, now acolyte number 1 is sort of like coming out of his like sort of realizing his surroundings. So he's there. You've got next to him, who's entangled still, he's got not very healthy looking at all. And you've got number 4, who is not looking healthy at all either. And then you got number 5, who just attacked or tried to attack Zubov.
Okay.
Ursh, did I shout to you that the leader has the map where Ganjor is hiding?
Okay, so with the spike growth, so can I choose to stop the concentration on the spike growth in order for it to dissipate?
Yeah, I would assume so. You can sort of cancel the. I mean, that would be sort of an action, I guess, to sort of stop
That's
it.
what I'm thinking is it's an action, so I remove the spike growth, and I'd like to try to intimidate the followers here in a booming voice to tell them it's time for you to run away.
Now, is that a? This is just an intimidation.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
So
Because you look like
if I were
the
to roll, it would be a dirty 20.
mighty powerful wizard.
Okay. All right, so I'll just roll for a wisdom check against all 4 of them. Would you roll 20? Dirty 20?
Yep.
Ooh. Okay. Well, a natty 20 for number 5, all the way at the end. The other 3. So we got one who's barely touched, the one who's looking like he's about to die, the other one who's looking worse for wear. They look at each other and they bolt. And the last one, who doesn't look very good, in essence, he just sort of stands his ground and he's sort of re-energizes himself and he's just looking at you and staring you down. The other 3 bolt behind you and just leave the battle area.
Kayleisha calls out, "Bye,
They're the smart
friends!"
ones.
Okay, just give me a second here. Okay. All right, so are you done at this point?
So that would be 2 actions, yeah.
Okay. So, give me a second here. Just gotta switch between the screens. Okay. So, second here. So Zubov, you're looking at the leader, and who's back from the, being afraid from Kayleisha's move and slammed to the back of the door, the back of the wall, with that attack that you just did, and he is going to cast fear on you.
Oh, my
Oh no!
God.
So you've got you got to make a wisdom defensive roll of 16 or higher.
Okay. It's a wisdom check. That's not what I wanted. Stand by. I was clicking the wrong part of the sheet. There we go. 13.
All right, so you fail that. So
Ooh,
you see the leader
weakness.
back up against the wall, and he just like sort of throws this fear spell at Zubov, and see Zubov actually looks just like everyone else just did. His eyes become like shark eyes, and he basically does a dash action, uses his entire speed, to like literally follow the other 3 acolytes, just bailed on it on this entire attack, blow by Irsk, and he's basically back in the anteroom.
Yeah, that's 80 feet of movement.
Wow. So you're wow.
It might be outside.
You're outside. Actually, Zubov just popped out the trap door.
Zubov, no! What did you do to Zubov?
That's the downside of having a really fast character.
He ran all the way home.
Run, Zubov, run!
He just started run, man. Damn.
Bam's
Off I go.
magical legs.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Running and running.
And running.
Man.
Okay, so that's it. Based on the characters that have left, Elisha, it is your attack.
Okay.
You just see below you Zubov being yeeted out. He just literally just gets out of here.
Yeah.
And you've got 1 acolyte sort of towards your right, towards the far end of the little chamber, and you've got the leader right in front of you.
I'm gonna tell the leader, like, dude, I know you're hurting. I know you most of your guys left you. I just need the map. I just need the map. Are you gonna give me the map? And now I gotta see if that worked. And I know it didn't work because it's only a 2.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. 2 and 2 for intimidation, so it's a 4. Is he scared?
Sure. I'll give you everything you want when you're dead.
I'm already dead, bucko. I'm a ghost.
That's part of the joke. Okay, so now you gotta. That's just your action, right? You're just trying to intimidate him. Now you're gonna do something, or what's your?
Yeah,
what's
now
next?
I'm gonna withering touch him.
Do something.
Yeah, we're gonna withering touch him, and that is an 11 to hit.
That is a miss.
I'm gonna try it again since I can do it twice on a turn. I'm gonna try it again, and that is 16 to hit.
That is a hit.
Yes. Okay.
Jeez.
We're gonna necrotic touch him.
Maybe use that voice next time you're trying to intimidate. It worked.
My friend, can I please?
That's your Pee Wee Herman voice.
I don't want to get
Okay. That is 15 necrotic damage on him.
So he is dead.
I just
You-
killed him?
You just killed him.
Shit!
Well, it's okay. We found out he has a map, and that's what we need anyway.
Okay.
You
all
just
right.
killed him.
Okay.
Take
So
him
are
alive,
we out
guys.
of- are we
Take him
out of
alive,
combat
and you're the
now?
one that killed. Nice.
Well,
My most
While I drain every little bit of life force from his body.
oops.
Man, she said oops. That makes it okay.
Are we out of combat now?
His skin
Since,
rots away
No.
like paper.
No.
Okay,
No,
we're
there's,
not.
There's still one acolyte who's still on the
Okay.
field.
All right.
Well,
Give that guy a
okay,
raise.
so
Number 5 made a mistake.
And Zubov is outside.
just a second here. I'm going to do a. Yeah. So the last remaining acolyte, he sort of looks around. He looks at all of you. He looks at his leader, who is just like trashed, and he is not backing down. I just did a saving throw on a
Okay.
check to see if he would collapse, and he's not giving up. So he is going to attack the ghost that just took out his leader.
That dumb asshole.
Give me a second. And he is going to launch sleep on you.
Who on me?
Oh, wait a second. No.
Oh.
Sorry. It's going to be Witch's Bolt.
Which is bolt. Which is
Wait.
what kind of-
Which one? Wait a second. One of them
Yeah.
used that already. It wasn't him. He did not use Witch's. No, it was him too. Shit. No, it's not him.
Okay.
He's going to go for sleep.
Sleep. On me?
Yes. Now, these are low-level acolytes. I'll just tell you that. They're not necessarily the most intelligent acolytes. They're just using everything they have at their disposal. And 18. That should be a hit.
Ooh.
It's creature in magical slumber. Roll 5d8. So this is the same thing as Zubov. Irsh took, right?
And
So
because
you have
I'm
more than 25.
immune to exhaustion, I guess it would only be half of that.
Yeah, I guess so.
So what
I
was
mean,
that?
you don't need to
18?
sleep either at all. Yeah, you're immune. Yeah. So let me just do 5d8. 7, 6, 13, 19, 24, and 30. So 15 damage.
Okay.
So the last standing acolyte in this little area looks at you all and just sort of blasts this sort of magical beam at Kalisha, and she basically, she does recoil for sure. And well, of course, Zubov doesn't see any of this.
Nope.
And Kalisha,
Yeah.
it's your attack at this point.
My attack?
Yep, because no one else is there.
Urshka isn't
Everybody's
there
done.
anymore?
Well, he rolled lower than you did, so your
Oh.
initiative was higher.
Okay. Then I'm gonna float over to him. Actually, I'm not gonna float. I'm gonna like
No curtsy?
beeline for him. Like, no, that I curtsied at the other guy. He was
Okay.
he was
Oh.
nice.
And you're up.
So-
She's
you're
a
up.
banshee
So
now.
I'm
Okay.
going to. I guess I'll do withering touch on him. I guess.
Okay.
All right. Let's do this. 13 to hit.
That's a hit.
All right.
268 damage.
Sorry, I was off. It was 266.
Okay. 10, 16, 18, 23, 21
Oh my God.
damage. Necrotic damage.
Dead. He's
Dead.
like,
Dead.
you
All
landed,
right.
boom, he
Super
is
dead.
gone.
And now we're out of combat.
So the other acolytes that were sent from fear, intimidation, they failed their saving throw, so they are out of the chamber
Okay.
along with Zubov. So,
But Urshka's still with me.
so yes. So
Okay.
Zubov, you need to make a saving throw of 16. Well, to better 16 if you're still under fear. That was the. Now, would that spell be done once the spellcaster is dead?
It's a concentration.
So then, okay, so you're no longer under fear. So you're standing outside
If it's
of.
concentration, then he
It
would
is.
lose it upon dying.
Yes. So
And
Okay.
it's just gone.
so you're gone. It's gone, and you're standing outside of basically outside of the trapdoor, and
Yeah.
you basically come to, and you see 3 other acolytes who are climbing up the stairs, trying to get away from something or other downstairs.
Yeah, so at this point, I think Zubov would just be like basically recovering from a panic attack, which is like a emotion he's not felt in a long time. So he's just like, And it's just like seeing these acolytes come up, like he's not interested in them. Like he knows they're
Okay.
there for the map, for the information on Ganjor, so he's just gonna let him go. And then
Okay.
once there's room, he's gonna head back down inside.
Okay. So that happens. You're able to come back inside, and so Kalisha and Irsk, you guys are just sort of assembling, like holy, like sort of looking around, like holy crap, man, that was intense. And then you look back and you see Zubov coming through the corridor, and you've got all this carnage in front of you.
First I'm
Kayleech, I know
gonna.
this is probably killing you.
Yeah.
You want me to check the leader for you since you can't loot anymore?
She's been trying to do it since
Yes.
she's been half dead.
Don't get
But
warning in the middle of every battle when you try to loot somebody who's already dead.
before you loot, you see that statue, the only one that's not covered up? That is Saloon, the goddess of the moon. She has a secret compartment at the base of her statue. Can you just check in there for me?
Sure.
The map might be in there, or it might be in this dumbass's clothes. I don't know, but
Okay, so I'll go to the statue and check the hidden compartment.
So you go down there, and the hidden compartment that I think it was it Twitter had gone in there and looked at that little compartment. It's empty because it was, we already looked at that one.
Okay.
Irsk, why don't you roll the perception, please?
Okay.
Well, no, it depends. So well, investigation, because Kalisha asked you to go and look there, and you saw it was empty. But while you're down there, you're sort of roll an investigation, please.
Okay.
Sorry, not.
I'll use the same roll, so that's a 14.
Okay, so you see that little compartment sort of slides out. There's a little, subtle little piece of the movement, and it sort of swings it out, and it's empty. You go further up her leg, and sort of near her calf, nothing inappropriate.
First,
You sort of
feeling
see
up a statue, dude.
one rock, two rock. So you sort of feel the side of it, and you get sort of like a little bit of a give, and the legs, the leg and its calf splits open, very similar to the one below, and in there's a ring, and in the ring there's a scroll, like sort of twisted up, and inside the scroll.
Nice.
Nice.
I'll take that. And
Okay.
should we take a look at it?
It says Fragile.
Fragile. It's Italian. And sadly, I don't know Italian. Damn it. Close the dragon.
So Dory looks at the note, and she sees that it says, it's written on the scroll. It says, "Glowing ring of the gibbous," and
Don't forget to drink your Ovaltine.
Is it a Dakota ring? You can tell us.
Commercial.
oh my god, oh my god, you guys kill me. And it says below it, the bearer of this ring can incant a fairy fire-like spell upon a desired target only on the waxing gibbous, granting the bearer and his friends a special blessing on their attacks for the duration of the spell. So it's like fairy fire, but tied to the waxing gibbous, which of course makes sense with Saloon, of course.
Nice. I love moon goddesses. They're so nice.
All right.
So there's no map in there, but you did find a little ring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's check his corpse.
Let's go check the bodies.
So you check the bodies of the ones that remain in this little chamber, and they don't really find much. Most of their stuff is back in the anteroom, like their little sort of basic, leather, this and that, and daggers and shit. And but of course, the leader does have a scroll, and in that scroll is a destination map to exactly where the hideout is for Ganjor. And like you guys saw a couple of nights ago, it's behind the Shadowlight prison, and they give a very specific sort of path of where to look, and very similar to Lord of the Rings, where it's apparent on one side but not. So you guys have a clear understanding of exactly where this path is to get there.
Honeycomb hideout.
And and on him, there's nothing else. What I can say is that you guys took him out. There's a couple of spells that he had that he was going to make it through this battle. So you guys did a fantastic job of taking him out. That was really, really good. So well done on that.
That frightening thing, Kalisha, was quite clutch.
That was
Thank you.
massively important.
It was so fetch.
Thanks.
So you guys are looking these things over, and Irsk, you get so everything sort of stops for you. Sound drops. Everything, you can't hear anybody talking. The color from the room fades. And there's a feeling inside of you that you haven't felt in a long time. And there's an awareness that sort of grows within you. And one of your deep, deep talents of your character, the primeval awareness, starts to basically tickle the back of your brain. And you're looking forward. You're not looking backwards. You're looking forward. You're seeing all of these statues that are covered by these dark cloths. And they're recessed in your mind, but also of importance. And you feel a glow from behind you.
Oh. I'm going to turn towards the glow.
So you turn towards the glow, and you see that Siloon's statue is glowing in a very, very different way. And you didn't see this before. She's got this sort of purple outline, and you get a sense of not possession, but like an ethereal being working through this statue. And so Zubov and Kalisha, you guys look at this, and you look at Zubov, Irsk, who's like sort of blindly sort of staring. You guys look back. You don't know what he's looking at. And you're like, Irsk, what's going on? But Irsk, you don't see this. And Irsk, all you hear is,
this is not the end. This is not the way of Satan. This must be stopped.
So you, neither Kalisha nor Zubov hear this, but Irsk, you look at this and you're seeing this, not a possession, but like a creature or a being working through this inanimate object. And you see the pendant that just a few seconds ago was just merely like rough-hewn stone on the statue, but this crescent piece of this necklace is now glowing purple, and essentially is sort of moving back and forth as if it's breathing on top of the statue.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm gonna walk over to the statue. Can I touch the amulet?
Yes.
So I'm gonna reach out and touch it. And
so you touch it, and as you put your hand towards it, this rock sort of comes to your hand, and you hold it in your hand, and you're just looking at it, and immediately you understand that this is a powerful spell, and its power word is gibbous. And you get the sense that when used at a critical moment in a battle, the power of the waxing gibbous and of Saloon will be activated to help with a dire situation or help with a very complicated battle. And it's just sitting in your hand, and it's glowing purple. And Zubov and Kilisha, you see this, and he's just like, he walks up to the statue and just sort of like plucks the stone somehow out of the statue, and he's just sort of looking at it. Looks regular to you guys, like, the hell, how did you do that? And Zubov, Irsk, you look at it and you understand immediately that you have yet another weapon that can be used in this battle against Ganjor.
Sweet.
And this is where we end tonight.
Ah!
Okay.
Next up,
Yay!
we are going to have the final battle with Ganjor, and where the entire group gathers and collects all of their weapons and all of their types of attacks to make this final ascension to Ganjor before the moon hits its highest point. Next time on the Red 5 Tavern.
A campaign
All right.
finale, guys.
Oh my god.
Ah! Ah!
Well, we
What
made
a
it.
campaign.
Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you likely in a week to end all of this.
All right.
Have a great night.
Adios.